guys, let's be real. 1969 Moon Swatch, let's talk about it. I'm LD, welcome back to the channel. And one of the things that I want to talk about today is how we, once again, are lying to each other and to ourselves about what is important when it comes to some of these watches that we want to collect. Now, if you've seen the 1969 Moon Swatch, not only is, in my opinion, is it one of the best looking moon swatches that have been released to this date. It's just a beautiful watch in general. It is a gorgeous watch. There's something about moonshine gold that just makes a watch look better. And even if you're not a Swatch fan, a Swatch owner, even if you're not an Omega fan and Omega owner, that moonshine gold is absolutely golden. Now, just to catch you up, one of the really intriguing things about it is that it has like 11 grams of 1969 gold that has been repurposed into moonshine or moonshine gold, and this made this a much more special moon swatch than the other ones. But in reality, it's still the same movement, still everything that, to my knowledge. And once it no longer works, you still can't service it. But the watch will serve as an artifact. It will serve as the ability to say, I was there and this is what I have. It'll become, it's still gonna be a collectible. Even if it's not wearable, it's still gonna be a collectible. And we saw that when Swatch created this window, application window, several days. The first day it crashed. I know I tried to get on it, so I'm not even gonna lie and say that I didn't try to get on it, because I did try to get on it first day. And it wasn't until the next day that I was able to actually log in and get to the window. Like, you know, sometimes would get on, I couldn't select my store. And then by the time I could select my store, it wouldn't go to the next page, it wouldn't load. It took me about 45 minutes or so to fill it out, because I actually did answer those questions. So Swatch announced that there was over 1 million applications, and people said there was about 1.2, 1.3 million applications to this process, to the Smooth Swatch. And over 1 million applications for less than 2,000 watches. And people think that when Swatch launches a collaboration, that, you know, when we see the bedlam and the fighting and everything going on, that, you know, they're overplayed, nobody wants them anymore, it's just a money grab. But yet, when we see something like this, once again, when good storytelling and good product making comes alive inside the industry, we all rush to it. We all want to be part of it. And there are a lot of people who are now having FOMO, that I've heard, that, man, you know what, I should have applied. Which means that there's going to be a secondary market for any of this, even though Swatch says, hey, promise that you're not going to flip it, right? I don't know. I mean, to me, when I see guys on Reddit talk about, well, how much do you think this thing's going to be worth? The answer should be $580, whatever it is that it actually costs, $600. But the reality is that we know that it's worth much more than that. Whether it's by nostalgia or collection or whatnot, we know that it's worth much more than that. I asked the questions, you know, was it a way to stop flippers from just camping out waiting in line? Because even with the Royal Pop, if I pop into my Swatch boutique, you know, and I'll ask them if I'm in the mall, I'm like, hey, y'all got any Royal Pops? Nope. Okay, great. I'll move on. Until they discontinue them, they're still being made. So I'm not really worried about getting one, and I don't need to get one right now. Then, if you think about it, it's kind of competition based, because you had to get so many answers right. You had to, supposedly they're going to gauge by how much time it took you to actually finish the application process. And then on top of that, you know, location, everything is kind of like a competition. In this competition, there's a lot of unknowns, right? We got the known knowns, the things that you know. But then you have the unknown unknowns, the things that you don't know. And throughout that process, when they released the answers, I realized this. This was the most fair presentation of how to actually do a release. We had all these complaints about when the Moon Swatch was released and the fights and the pepper spray, and it got me to thinking. I wanted the cheat code. I wanted the cheat code. I wanted a way that me as a Swatch collector, and I'm a small time Swatch collector, I only have like six swatches or whatever, but I wanted a cheat code. I wanted a way, I wanted the list, I wanted the restriction, I wanted the scarcity, but I wanted a way to get ahead of that list. I wanted a way to get around of it. And I wanted to be rewarded for my loyalty, for my brand loyalty. Hey, you know what? I bought swatches. I bought swatches that I like, not things that are hyped. I appreciate the brand. I appreciate the boutique experience. I bought that. I want to be rewarded. And I started thinking, I'm like, man, if only there was a way to be rewarded to get the watches that you really, really like because you bought the watches that you liked. Oh, those are the things that we complain about Rolex boutiques. Those are the things that we complain about FP Journe. Those are the things that we complain about Patek. I mean, think about this. Right now, for Journe is so popular. I won't say hyped because if you ever heard of Journe, they're amazing watches. Journe is so popular that for a lot of boutiques, you can't even schedule your brand familiarization visit until next year. And then on top of that, there are certain watches that I liked when I first saw them, that they were like, those aren't your entry watches. You can't go grab that one because like I like the Havana, the CS Havana. I love the Centograph. I'm not a big fan of chronographs, but the Centograph is just beautiful to look at, and the one that I think is in tantalum or whatever, it is heavy, but it is just gracious. And I think on the secondary market, the Centograph is probably one of the best values on the secondary market for Journe, meaning that from retail to actual market price, and it's not that much of a spread compared to like an Elegant or Chronomat Blue or any of those. But I wanted a cheat code. I don't want to wait 8 years of my life to get a Journe, and right now the only cheat code is to go gray. I want a titanium Yachtmaster. I don't want to spend $300,000 because I don't have $300,000 to spend, or wait 3 or 5 or 6 years. So the cheat code right now is to go gray. But I do have friends who are collectors who have spent this amount of money with these brands, and they turn around and say, oh, this just came out. I want this. Can I get this? And abracadabra, within 2 months, their AD says, hey, you got the call. That's the cheat code. So now I want to know, really, with Swatch, is this the start? Is this the start of a system to where not only can they get the data of interest, 1 million applications, over 1 million applications for less than 2,000 watches? Is this a start to where they can get information, interest, to where they can control, and with the powers of AI and technology and databases now, can now register your warranty to you and now make certain watches non-brand entry watches, to where you're rewarded for your brand loyalty. Does brand loyalty still mean something today? Is brand loyalty still the flex? Is brand loyalty still worth it? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the Swatch drop. Do you think this is going to expand to other parts of swatches? Do you think it's going to create them to make, like, hey, we joke about it. What if they come up with a swatch by Brigade type thing where it is literally a tourbillon and a swatch, right? No ideas. Tell me what you think. Like, put a comment, engage. Have a good one.